Good morning, Panther Cubs. Today is Wednesday of week 7. I'm going to read the questions, and then if you haven't finished, go back and complete them. Number 1. In what place is the 6 located in the numeral 60,137? Number 2. What are the 2 missing numbers in this pattern? Number 3. What words make this statement true? 4,748 blank 4,479. A equal to, B less than, C greater than. Number 4, Natalia has 229 rocks in her collection. Devin has 418 in his collection. How many more rocks does Devin have than Natalia? So if you have not finished the work, go back and do the work for the problems. So number 1, for those of you who have finished, we're going to start at number 1. And the question asks us, in what place is the 6 located? So I'm going to do my HTO. And that's in the thousands house. So I want to know what place is the 6. So place means location, means what room in the house. Well, I see it's in the 10, but it's the thousands house, so our answer is 10,000. The 10,000s place. Okay, number 2. What are the 2 missing numbers in this pattern? 23, 27, blank, blank, 37. So we have to figure out, what is this rule that we're counting by here? How are we getting, what's our pattern? How are we getting from one number to the next? So I'm looking to see, okay, well, how did I get from 23 to 27? Well, I could count. I can say 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So plus 4. So let's see if that will work for all of the other parts of the pattern. So 27 plus 4, put 27 in my head, 28, 29, 30, 31. I could also think, well, if I have 4, 3 takes me to 30, and I still have 1 left over out of my 4. So 3 gets me to 30, so 31. 31 plus 4 is 35. And then I want to make sure 35 plus 4, does that give me 39? Well, 5 plus 4 is 9, and the 10s don't need to do anything with, so yes. So our answers for the blanks are 31 and 35. Number 3, which words would make the statement true? So we have 4,748 compared to 4,479. Now remember, you're thinking about money. If this was money, which one would you rather have more of? So we're going to look at the values. We know that thousands are worth more than 1, so we're going to look at the thousands. We have 4,000 on this side and 4,000 on this side. That doesn't tell us a whole lot, so we have to go to the next biggest value. The next biggest value is in the, sorry, you can't see that. The next biggest value is in the hundreds place, so we're going to go to the hundreds place. The 7 is worth 700. Here, the 4 is worth 400. So I know that I would rather have 700 than 400. 700 is more than 400, so I read it just like a sentence. 4,748 is bigger or is greater than 4,479. So I'm looking for the words greater because I read like a book, left to right. So 700 is greater than 400. So C is our correct answer for number 3. Okay, last one. And I know there's a typo in there, I apologize. Natalia has 229 rocks in her collection. Devin has 418 in his collection. How many more rocks does Devin have than Natalia? So I'm going to go sentence by sentence to get my understand. What is it in this problem that's important for me to be able to solve the problem? So I see first sentence. It says Natalia has 229 rocks in her collection. So I think that's important because usually numbers are important. So I know Natalia has 229 rocks. Okay, second sentence. Devin has 418 in his collection. So in the second sentence, we find out that Devin has, 418 rocks. And the third sentence says, how many more rocks does Devin have than Natalia? And your question is always important because if you don't know what to solve for, then you can't even do the problem. So we were trying to figure out how many more for Devin than Natalia. Okay, and that is all of the sentences in the word problem, so we now know we have all of our information. So now we need to come up with a plan. Okay, so I'm looking, what is the question asking me? How many more Devin than Natalia? This is the only key word that you can rely on. If it says how many more, that means that your last step that you do in the solve box. So in the solve box, the last step is going to be subtract. The reason for that is if I were to draw kind of a picture to represent this, here's Devin. He has 418. Okay, Natalia doesn't have that many. She only has 229. We're trying to figure out how much is this extra that Devin has. And you could do 229 plus something equals 418, but that's not going to be very easy to figure out. So subtraction is your shortcut for that because you're trying to find this unknown part, okay, that extra piece that Devin has. So our plan is going to be to do Devin minus Natalia. Okay, and it's only going to be that one step in solve, one step in check because we only have enough information for one piece of solve. So I'm going to do, and remember, bigger number in subtraction has to go on top. And it says, how many more does Devin have than Natalia? So Devin is on top. 418 minus 229. Okay. I'm going to circle where my bigger numbers are. You should be circling too because that keeps you focused on what part of the poem to use. So more on the floor, go next door to borrow 10 more. So I had 110, I'm going to trade it in for 10 ones. I had 8 ones, I get 10 more, so I have 18. Well, I know that's a doubles fact. 18 minus 9 is 9. Now I go to the second part, the tens spot. And I circle where my bigger number is because that's going to help me figure out what part of the poem do I use. And I see 0 and 2. 2 is my bigger number. More on the floor. Go next door to borrow 10 more. I had 4 hundreds. I traded one of those in. I now have 3. When I traded it in, I got 10 tens. I had 0 tens. I got 10 more. So now I have 10 tens. And I can take away 2 tens gives me 8. And I'm going to circle where my bigger number is. More on top. No need to stop. 3 minus 2 is 189 rocks. And I'm going to circle that because that's my answer. Now, I need to check my answer just to make sure that it's correct. Okay, this isn't part of the solve. This is just checking to make sure you did your work correctly. So I'm going to go over to the checkbox and I'm going to work bottom to top. 189. The opposite of subtraction is addition, plus 229. Okay, 9 ones plus 9 ones is 18 ones. I can't have 18 ones, so I'm going to trade one of those, or 10 of those ones in for 110 that I'm going to put here in the tens column where it belongs. Well, I see 8 and 2, that's a tens fact, so that makes 10, and one more is 11. I have 11 tens. I'm going to trade one of them in for 100, and I'm going to leave my 110 there. 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4, 418 matches with our top number here, 418, so I know that I did it correctly.